Now, I made a joke about Logan Paul letting me milk his udders damn near dry a few weeks ago, and Lil Tay is on the same path, but I was informed that I need to find a different analogy than being milked for Lil Tay. More on that soon. But obviously, she is back, and now that she's old enough to have a phone, we are going to be cursed with constant updates about her from her. It wouldn't make it any less annoying if it was coming from someone else, but there's just something about a 14-year-old talking to me that pisses me off. Pisses me the fuck off. This time though, she isn't flexing on us as much as she used to, but instead is out to try and expose her father, who we don't give a fuck about. If everything was as serious as she was making it out to be, an adult would be speaking for her. But they're leaving this into the hands of someone who thinks child support goes directly to the child.
And that brings me to my next point. How much fucking money does he owe me? He owes me $250,000 in child support.
But apparently someone swatted Lil Tay. I'm not saying she deserved it, but if the first thing you do as part of your comeback is try and call us all broke again, like your mom isn't the one with all the money, then I have to ask you, is this you?
Mommy, stop!
Yeah, it is. But the logical thing to do after this would be to assume that one of the thousands of people who you've insulted did this. There are a lot of people who already didn't like her, and now she just reminded them why. But this time, they're not going to feel guilty about doing something because she isn't 9 years old anymore. Being 14 though, and barely smart enough to relay what the adults around her are telling her to say, she randomly accuses her dad of doing this with no proof at all other than her fucking brain. And I don't know how swatting works in Canada, but if this is who shows up to a swatting situation, either she's full of shit or Canada just doesn't give a fuck. That, or they just know whatever was called in would never happen in Canada. But after this clip that is just that, if there was another video she posted of them breaking into her house with guns drawn on her, I didn't care enough to look for it. But right after that, she straight goes into just blaming her dad.
You swatted my house, you fucking psycho. Abusive father, Chris Hope, swatted me to prevent me from continuing to expose his racism, misogyny, sexually abusive behavior, and domestic violence. You cannot fucking stop me. You cannot fucking silence me. This is not just for myself, but for all girls and women.
Now, I hope you ladies out there don't hone in on this and start rallying behind her. What she's saying doesn't even make any fucking sense. Swatting someone stops the person you did it to for all of a couple hours? Maybe. You can tell she doesn't even know what swatting is because what happened to her was basically the equivalent to a welfare check. The police stopped by her house and, to be honest, look confused themselves as to why they were even there. And she thinks her dad did this to her as a way of silencing his victims. And the way she ends it by saying, this is for all girls and women. What is, you talking about your dad having an Asian fetish and giving you literal candy for lunch but you still bitch and complain about it? Or is it him putting on the Bride of Chucky and you having the same reaction 99% of kids who watch that movie have? Or is it about him giving his wife designer clothes and not you because you're fucking 9 years old and don't need Gucci shoes? If it's about any of that, then you need to shut up. Oh my god, and hey, it looks like you just made it about that. So I think you need to... If I was a girl, I would look at myself naked all day, but also, I would not be supporting this little dirtbag for anything she says. Who, how, where is the evidence that her dad did this? She's over here calling him a psycho, accusing him of doing this, when he's probably on Craigslist looking for another Asian to spoil. I get that you probably hate him because he took you away from everything right at the peak of everything happening, but by now everyone, or at least I'm hoping they do, knows you're over-exaggerating what you say, because if you don't, you know no one is gonna care. Notice how she's actually talking about the dad thing more than her music? They need a catch. They need something about her. They need you guys to be emotionally attached to her so you guys feel obligated to listen to her music. And I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I'm not saying he's perfect. But if you're going to start blaming him for everything that's going to happen to you like he wasn't the one trying to take you away from all this, then you must be only talking to the idiots because it's obvious she's trying to get all the attention back she once had. You might have gotten your diehard fans and some of the perverts back on your side, but anyone above the age of 18 can see that you're using your dad as a scapegoat, so we can all feel bad that you weren't in the spotlight for 5 years. Obviously, you learned nothing from that, and have just gotten worse. I don't know if she actually still lives in Canada or not, but this is not how American police handle a swatting situation. They have at least an assault rifle in their hands when they walk up to your front door. But yeah, guys, don't believe anything a 14-year-old tells you unless they're one of those child prodigies. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.